All right, you guys, today I'm going to cover with you some very basics of doing the 180. What I mean by that is these are the components that make up your experience with me as we train together and work together in your journey of lifetime fitness. Truly something that you can do for the rest of your life. See, there's a couple main problems that I hear over and over and over again when I'm working with clients and just talking to people, general population on social media and those kinds of things. And that is the biggest hangups in their fitness, in getting in shape or staying in shape once they do finally reach that goal, is that what they did to get there was not practical to do over a lifetime. And what they did to get there was just a short-term mental thing instead of habits, new habits that could replace the old habits that didn't work for them, that didn't serve them, that got them overweight or out of shape, with new powerful habits that could become part of their new self-identity and could empower them to be able to walk this out for the rest of their life, because now these are habits instead of the old habits that didn't serve them. And so what I've done with 180 Fitness is I've looked at my own personal journey. You may recall that, gosh, I don't know how long ago, 12 years or so ago, this is 2019, so probably 12 or so years ago, I was an overweight, busy mom running a business and homeschooling my children, and I'm not even gonna say overweight, I was obese. I mean, I've lost and kept off close to 80 pounds in over a decade. Lost it in about a year's time and have kept it off since. But of course I tried and attempted and failed and tried and attempted and failed multiple times up to that point. It wasn't like my first time I was, successful, and here we are, Alicia now owns a personal training company. But what happened was that last time I learned practical things that I could do for myself for the rest of my life, and I created new habits that replaced the old ones that empowered me to walk out this new identity. And so in realizing that everybody tells me the reason I can't stay fit is because the way I got fit or the way I was trying to get fit was completely not practical for day-to-day living. It was something that could be short-term, a quick fix, but because I couldn't sustain it, I gained that weight and usually more weight back. Or it was too hard to sustain. I got to week 3, week 4, and I crashed and burnt. I felt so discouraged. I had all the head stuff of, oh, there you go again, Alicia. You're never gonna be able to do this. You always fail. You always, 3 weeks in, you always give up. All that crap head talk that I added more to that negative story by failing. And this has been, on repeat year after year. And taking those stories and those, and understanding that that's what most people face, because that's what I faced, and taking what actually had me achieve, overcome, and live out this whole lifestyle, and turn those into practical steps that I could train my clients in. So that's what we call doing the 180. This is a complete turnaround from where you were before. I'm going to teach you a complete new direction in your life. We're going to teach you little habits throughout your life that are going to allow you to take control and do it in a way that makes sense. Do it in a way that is doable, not just for the next 3 months, but for the next 30 years. And so that's what we're going to cover today. We're going to cover doing the 180 lean living life hack. Number 1, don't do food prep. Now, I know that's going to seem counterintuitive. Here's the issue. We have to have food ready that fits our plan, or we will default to food that doesn't fit our goals, okay? So we do have to have food ready. Absolutely, you must think ahead of what you're gonna eat. You must create a new habit about having healthy food around you and ready. That's a new habit you're gonna have to create, and I'm gonna help you through that process. But one of the things I find is really hard for people to sustain is this huge food prep. It is for me. My life is far too busy. I cannot dedicate an entire Sunday to cook food. By the way, I hate cooking, so I'm not going to do that anyway. I loathe spending a day cooking so much, unless it's a big holiday that I get to spend with my family afterward. I loathe cooking so much that hatred alone will make me procrastinate it. And that will set me up for failure, because I may do it here and there. One week I may get it done, but 2 weeks following I'm not. And the inconsistency will kill my ability to maintain my fitness. And I'll fall back to old habits. So what I do instead is doing the 180 food prep. And you guys, this is revolutionary and it's so simple. Like, it's the simplest thing in the world. Like, in other words, like the simplest idea, the most practical way to do this. And literally it will take you an extra 3 to 5 minutes on a daily basis to food prep, because we're doing the 180 food prep, not onslaught Sunday food prep, okay? So no longer will you be, unless you like to. Now, if you're the type of person where spending all day Saturday or Sunday cooking up every meal and pre-packaging it and putting in the food in the fridge makes you feel accomplished and you love it and it empowers you, more power to you. Awesome. I love that. And maybe if that's you, I will have you come and do some guest hosting to teach my other clients who love that some of your tips and tricks, because I don't have any there. My tip and trick on that is throw that idea out. Do it the 180 way. But if you're like me and that is totally impractical, then taking 3 to 5 minutes a day to do this one extra step will totally enable you to have your healthy food always ready for the next meal. So this is all we have to do. I'm going to give you just kind of a sample menu. This may sound familiar because it may be something that you have on yours. Let's say that you have planned out for the week. I'm going to have top sirloin roast. Okay, some of you can have top sirloin steak or top sirloin roast, a beef that's a very lean cut, like a round steak, a top sirloin. Those are the leanest cuts. So the leanest cut, anywhere between 95 to 97% lean. That's on your food plan. And you decide, I'm going to make a roast with that. So you've got a good 5-pound roast, and you season it with seasonings that are on your plan that you can, utilize. For me, I like, this might sound crazy, but I love making a chipotle roast. And then I make it shredded beef and I utilize it multiple times throughout the week. So this is step number 1. Let's say my family, I have a pretty small, well, I have a very large family, but most of them are adults and don't live with me anymore. We only have one teenager at home now. And so pretty small family. And if we would normally eat, say, a pound of roast that night, I'm going to take out, say, a 4-pound roast, okay? One that I know has multiple more meals of meat in it. And I'm going to tell you, cooking a 5-pound roast versus a 1-pound roast takes no more time, right? So we already are at 0 added time for meal prep. I'm going to prep that roast whatever way that I think is going to be practical for the rest of my week's meals. So for me, I like a chipotle seasoning. So I put that chipotle seasoning on the roast. I roast it up. That night we have chipotle roast with I would have sweet potatoes and some zucchini. And then I take the rest of that at the time I'm cleaning up dinner, because you're always going to clean up dinner anyways, right? And I put that in a container. Now, if I know I'm going to eat that within the next day or two, I'll just put it in the refrigerator and I'll pull it out and weigh it out as I go. If I've cooked enough, or I want to have some of this for later in the week where I don't want it sitting in the fridge that long, then I'll just quickly grab a Ziploc bag, and instead of putting it in, the little dishes for the fridge, the Rubbermaid dishes, I will instead just weigh it out, put it in the Ziploc bags, label it, and put it in the freezer. Now, if I had a 4-pound roast and we were going to eat maybe a pound, probably closer to 1.5 pounds for my family, 1.5 pounds of that, I've got at least where my meals, I'm eating 5 to 6 ounces of protein each meal. Gosh, let's see. I've got 2, 4, 6. I've got probably 6 or more meals there already cooked. And it took me, the only time it took me was, instead of putting it in a Rubbermaid dish and putting it in the fridge, I put it in a Ziploc and put it in the freezer. Like 2 minutes? Not even that. Now that night also, I'm having sweet potatoes. So instead of just cooking one sweet potato, I'm going to gather 5 sweet potatoes. I eat a lot of sweet potatoes. It's something I really love, and I eat them in all different ways. But let's say I'm gonna just bake them. Well, now instead of washing 1 sweet potato and putting in foil and putting in the oven, I'm gonna wash 5 sweet potatoes and put them in the oven. That took me all of 30 seconds more. So now we're at maybe 2 minutes and 30 seconds extra, right? And if I'm having zucchini, instead of just steaming, let's say 3 zucchinis is what I would have steamed for our family, I'm gonna steam 9. So now I have that much more zucchini. And again, when I clean up that night, I'm gonna either put it just in 1 container in the fridge if I know it's something I'm gonna eat within the next couple days, just mixed within my meals, or I'm going to put it in the freezer. But either way, it's just a couple minutes extra. Like, we're talking at the end of the day, I now have anywhere between, let's say, what I said off the top of my head, 4 to 6 meals already prepped. Now, I can eat these any order I want. Here's the beauty of it. I can tomorrow have roast and sweet potatoes and zucchini all over again if I like eating the same thing all over again. Or I can take that roast and the next day for lunch, I take that 5 ounces of shredded beef that I'm allowed to have, and I take the flat out rollout that I'm allowed to have, and the turkey bacon that I'm allowed to have, and the avocado that I'm allowed to have, and I make myself a shredded chipotle beef flat wrap, and that's my lunch. Now, everything was already ready ahead. I had the shredded beef. I had the turkey bacon cooked ahead because when I cook turkey bacon for a chicken salad I'm gonna have, or something else like that that I can, the breakfast stuff that I can have the turkey bacon in, I cook all of the package. I put it in the, when I clean up, I put it in the freezer bag, put it in, and then over the next week or 2, I pull out the turkey bacon, and even though it's frozen, it literally will become like easy to eat within a couple minutes on the counter. I don't even have to necessarily warm it up. And so I will then take the shredded beef out, put it on my flat out, take the avocado, spread it on there, sprinkle some of the turkey bacon that I'm allowed to have in the amount that I'm allowed to have for my macros and calories, and voila, in 2 minutes, less than 2 minutes, I have my lunch, okay? Now later on in the day, maybe that night, we're gonna have chicken. Well, if I'm gonna have, say, habanero chicken, that might be one of the recipes you have on your meal plan. I'm gonna cook the same thing. Instead of 3 chicken breasts, I'm gonna cook another 3 meals. Usually I will try to cook extra for 3 meals worth, because that might be 2 lunches and a dinner. It might be 3 lunches over the next week, but I'm gonna cook usually at least 3 more meals worth every time I cook. Now, we have a very big grill, and I can take that whole bag of chicken and I can marinate it and I can grill it all in the exact same time it took me to cook 1 meal, right? Like literally, the difference is I flipped a few more chicken breasts. That's all. That's all. So that night I have chicken, okay? And maybe I also had some steamed broccoli and some wild grain rice. Well, when I cook that wild grain rice, I'm going to actually cook 3 meals extra beyond what my family needs that night. And I'm going to, at dinner time, clean it up and put it away. Same thing with the steamed broccoli. So Wednesday at lunch, I go to the fridge and I'm like, oh, I have my chicken here from last night. I'm gonna cut it up and weigh it out. I'm gonna take my turkey bacon I cooked ahead on Sunday morning when I had bacon and eggs, and I'm gonna put that in with this and grab my avocado and create my chicken bacon salad. And I'm going to put that with some sweet potatoes. I'm gonna have a side of sweet potatoes, and voila, there's my lunch, okay? So I haven't had to cook anything for that lunch. It's all things that I've cooked with minutes of extra time throughout the week. The next day, I go and there's my rice, and I have some shredded chipotle beef from a couple nights before, some steamed broccoli. Those are all part of my next meal. I put them together, and now I have a chipotle beef bowl, right? Rice bowl. So those are all simple ways that literally on Monday night, Tuesday night, Wednesday night, I spent at the most 5 extra minutes cooking my meals ahead. That is doing the 180 meal prep. You guys, it is so easy. Now, the great thing is, on Friday night, when my life is crazy, and our house is pretty crazy on Friday nights, guess what I have? I have a whole bunch of beef still in my freezer from dinner on Monday night. I can pull it out, I can mix it up, and we can have, you know, they can have some, say I make chimichangas for them with the shredded beef, and I have it with my flat rollout and a big salad. Or I put it over top of a big salad and we have we have chipotle beef taco salads, right? So shredded beef salads. So there's so many ways you can take the basics of the meal plan that I'm giving you. Just think ahead. I'm cooking chicken tonight. I'm gonna marinate it, some of it with the habanero chicken, and I'm gonna marinate some of it with this lemon pepper. And that way, and I'm gonna grill them all. Like literally 2 minutes extra to make 2 different marinades. Grill it all up, and now you have chicken all through the week with all different flavors for chicken salads and chicken wraps, chicken for dinner at night when they're having pizza and you just pull out your chicken. You guys, this makes keeping yourself on your meal plan easy. Now, here's the thing. These are new habits. New habits are not easy to create, but if we remove the obstacles, like how am I ever going to consistently every Sunday take a good 6 hours to cook ahead and then still throughout the week have to cook my family's meals? Like, how is that realistic? Instead, I'm creating meals for our entire family and doing 2 to 3 to 5 minutes extra each night and making it to where I have food always available for me during the day as well. So taking my family's dinner, adjusting it slightly for my meal, freezing or putting in the refrigerator what I'm going to use later, empowers me to always have my food ready. The reality is this, you guys, when you do this, you will have no excuse to stay on your food plan. You won't. The excuse of meal prep was too hard, I didn't know what to eat, I didn't have food ready, I would come home from work exhausted, and I couldn't get dinner done, is gone. Because many nights I come home and I'm like, oh goodness, I don't have time to cook. Like literally we'd eat by 8 o'clock tonight if I had to start thinking of dinner now. But I go to the freezer and I have enough in there that took me 5 minutes earlier in the week that I just pull that out, repurpose it, and we have dinner. And I didn't have to go get pizza. We didn't order Chinese. I didn't pick up from takeout from TGF Fridays. Do we have a TGF? We don't have a TGF Fridays here, do we? I'm thinking Boise. We did, you know, I didn't do those things. Panda Express wasn't delivered to the dinner table. I just took out what I'd used 5 minutes earlier in the week, prepared a healthy meal, and stayed on track. The only thing, if you do this, if you follow the steps I'm telling you about doing the 180 meal prep, the only reason you will not stay on track with your food is because you choose to, because you decide you want to eat off your plan. There is no reason something this simple is something you cannot do. Now, you do have to think ahead and you have to go grocery shopping, which you already do. Just make sure you have your grocery list ahead so that each night when you go to cook meals, you have enough to cook extra. And that is doing the 180 meal prep. Lean living life hack number 1. You guys, I'm so excited for this journey for you. I'm so excited to be part of empowering you into these healthy habits that will allow you to literally turn your entire life around. That's what I'm so passionate about. That's why I love being your coach. That's why I love working with each one of you. If you have any questions about this, of course, let me know. Text me, message me, whatever you need. I'm here for you. I'm really excited for us and this journey together. Have a blessed day.